The heart is natural source of peace. Heart is your natural source of peace. You are not creating anything. You are simply coming to a source which is already there. You are coming to a source which is always there. This imagining will help you become more aware that the heart is filled with peace. You are not aware of it. That heart is filled with peace already. It is not that the imagining will create the peace. This is the difference between the approach of Tantra and Western hypnosis. Hypnotists think that you are creating it by imagining. But Tantra thinks you are not creating it by imagining. You are simply become attuned to something that is already there. You already have a heart, which is the seat of source of natural peace and harmony. You are not creating this center by imagining. You are simply becoming attuned to something that is already there. You are coming in harmony with heart. Because whatsoever you can create by imagination cannot be permanent. Imagination is always short-lived. You imagine, next moment you cannot imagine. But something which is already there, you are not creating, you are not imagining. Imagination means it is not really a reality. It is false, unreal, and you are creating a hallucination. This is what hypnosis is. So it is better to be disturbed and real than be in a hallucination of peace, because that is not a growth. You are simply intoxicated by it. Sooner or later you will have to come out, because sooner or later the reality will shatter and illusion will come. Reality has to shatter all illusions. Only a greater reality cannot be shattered. Heart as the center of peace is a greater reality, and it is natural. A greater reality will shatter the reality which is on the periphery. You consider whatsoever you see on the periphery is a reality. But this is a false notion. Hence, Shankaracharya and others says that the world is illusion. World means the outer dimension. Not that the world is illusion, but they have come only to know a higher reality, and from that attitude, from that altitude, when you look at the world, it appears dreamy. When you look at all that is happening on the periphery, you think of your intimacy with your spouse, with your husband, with your wife, with your children. You realize that this is all dreamlike. It is so far away, the distance is so infinite that it cannot be felt real. The noise on the street will be as if you are dreaming about it. It is not real. It cannot do anything. It just happens for a moment and passes, and you remain untouched. And when you are untouched by the reality, how can you feel the real? The reality is felt only when it penetrates you deeply. Deeper the penetration of reality, the more you will feel it as real. Shankaracharya, Adi Shankar says, the whole world is unreal. He must have come to a point from where the distance is so vast, so tremendously vast, that all that happens there becomes just like a dream. You think your spouse is very close to you. Do you really feel so? It appears to be, but the closeness is not there. The intimacy is not there really. Even when you are together with your spouse, you feel that there is an intimacy, but that intimacy is only short-lived. And the moment the act is finished, the intimacy is no more. Intimacy is that deeper intimacy means that whether you are physically intimate or not, whether you are emotionally intimate. And not only that, you are intimate at the level of energy. Whether there is a physical intimacy or not, it does not affect your emotional intimacy and the intimacy at the energy level. Do you feel this kind of deeper intimacy with your spouse? It feels as if it is there as long as there is physical intimacy. That too is very short-lived and for a few precise moments. Shankar says the whole world is unreal. He must have come to a point where the distance is so vast, tremendously vast, that all that happens there becomes just like a dream. You feel intimacy for a few moments. It comes, but no intimacy comes with it because it cannot penetrate. Penetration is directly proportion of reality. If I throw a stone at you and it hits you, the hit penetrates you, and that penetration makes the stone real. If I throw a stone, it touches you but does not penetrate you deep down. You will hear a kind of a sound, a thud of the stone falling on you, but there will be no real disturbance. You will feel the touch as false, unreal, illusory. But you are so near the periphery that if I throw a stone at you, you will be hurt. This is what happens. Your husband says something, you are hurt. Wife says something, you are hurt, but not your body. When husband or the wife say anything, does your body hurt? No, not the body. The body will be hurt. The body will be hurt in either case. If I throw a stone at Buddha, the body will be hurt, as your body will be hurt. But Buddha is not on the periphery. He is rooted at his center, and the distance between the center and periphery is so great that he will hear the thud of the stone without being hurt. I throw a stone. What is the difference between you and a Buddha? Buddha is at his center, right? You are on the periphery. So when you throw a stone, when I throw a stone at you, it may hit you, it may just touch you and you will hear a sound. The body will be hurt in either case, whether it is thrown at Buddha or you. But you are living at the outer dimension, the periphery, and Buddha is living at the center. He is rooted at his center, and the distance between the center and the periphery is so great that he will hear the thud, the stone, and he will not be hurt. The being will remain untouched, undisturbed. There will be no scar on the being. The unscarred being will feel the stone as if something has been thrown in a dream state. This is illusory. So Buddha says that nothing has substance to it. Everything is subconscious, without any substance. The world is empty of substance, which is the same thing as Shankar saying that the world is illusory. Try this. Whenever you are able to feel peace between your two armpits, feeling it, pervading your heart center, the world will look illusory. I will give you in detail of this meditation more tomorrow, but in the meantime, I will continue to explain. Try this whenever you are able to feel the peace between your two arms. Although heart is the natural center for peace, but whenever you do not feel that all the time, whenever you feel the peace between two armpits filling you, pervading your heart center, the world will look illusory. This is the sign that you have entered meditation. When the world feels and appears to be illusory, do not think that the world is illusory. There is no need to think about it. You will feel it. You do not need to think. You will, when you go deeper in meditation, you know that all relationships, all that is on the periphery is illusory. You feel it. Do not think that the world is illusion. There is no need. Instead you will feel it. It will suddenly occur to your mind what has happened to the world. The world has suddenly gone dreaming. It is there. like a dream-like existence, but has no substance. It looks real, just as the film on the screen. It can even be the film on the screen may even be a three-dimensional. It looks like something, but it is a projected reality, projected thing. Not that the world is a projected thing, not that the reality it is really unreal. No, the world is real, but you create the distance, and the distance gets more and more, and you can understand whether the distance is getting more and more or not by knowing how you are feeling about the world. That is, how do you feel about the world and all that is happening on the periphery? That is the criteria. That is the criteria of meditation. It is not a truth that the world is unreal. It is the world has become unreal. You have become centered in your being. When you are centered, you are looking at everything from within. You are inside your room. Outside, many things are happening. Somebody said he was in Dubai when Iran attacked Dubai, and he's hearing the sound of the planes flying, but he is safe within the room. So something like this, you are in your heart established on the surface, and you are so far away that you can look at the surface as being something objective, something other than you, but you are not identified. The planes flying, there is a fear. The bombers are flying and the sound is heard within the room, but you are not identified with it. I will explain more in detail tomorrow. Until then, take care.